Explain the preparation that goes into preparing for an AFL radio call as a play-by-play commentator. What was your preparation like last week in the lead up to Port Adelaide, or Yatapuli and Gold Coast in the AFLW?
Yeah, and so many people said, "Oh, you'll have no trouble with Gold Coast." You probably find yourself having more trouble when it's your own team because you're very conscious that everyone knows it's your team. It's no secret in South Australia I'm a Gold Coast Suns fan. The whole media knows that sort of stuff. So I knew there was going to be high expectations that from that opening bounce, I was going to need to nail the Gold Coast Suns players right from the word go. So it's lots of watching of footage, lots of watching back from the game, the Q Clash. Games played right at the very start of the season because you start to look through from the start of the season at any subtle changes in a play, different ribbons in their hair or different ways that they pull up their socks and all those sorts of things, different coloured boots that they might be wearing throughout the whole process there along the way. So loads of watching of vision, particularly with Yatapulti there as well. Now, I have a slight advantage with a number of their players because they play AFLW, which I also call a lot of here. So I can pick out a Cheyenne Hammond, pick out a Sachi Syme, all those sorts of things quite easily when they're playing for their respective South Adelaide and Nord. Putting them in a Port Adelaide jumper makes it a little bit different because you might have different coloured boots and play out of position and all that sort of thing. So it's lots and lots of studying of vision, doing so with the sound down. I'm very particular about doing it with the sound down for at least a quarter. Then I'll turn it up because I need to be able to recognise them without having the help of a voice in my ears or something like that. I need to be able to recognise a Gemma Houghton coming straight towards me and not wait for Kelly Underwood to tell me who it is or anything like that, as you would know. Studying of numbers, keeping some basic facts there in the back, loads of study of statistics and all that sort of stuff. For an AFLW game, I probably had 6 to 7 hours of preparation at least there along the way. For a Sandford game, it's probably 4 to 5 hours per game or thereabouts that I put in. Again, vision, numbers, player ID. They're the big keys for it. Player ID, and player ID are so critical with that sort of stuff. You can get away with missing a player on radio because nobody knows. You can't get away with it when it's visual. So that's why it's so critical to look for those little things like taping, tattoos, boots, hair color, hairstyles, all of those sorts of things, wristbands, anything that can help you pick out a player that's coming towards you in a pack with a dozen or so others around them. So with that game, going back to that one, lots of looking at headshots in particular there as well, and just looking at hairstyle and that sort of stuff there as well. Certain players wear it up. Certain players have certain coloured ribbons in their hair. They're those little tiny things that, Chris, you would know as a broadcaster, can just help you out when there's a big pack on a very, very wet day, working out if it is, Charlie Rowbottom or the likes that's coming out of a pack.
We've only got a brief period of time left, but the last question I'll have on this space in with you is that you get to Monday morning, you've got the game on Saturday. When does your preparation start and how does that look in the lead up to the week?
Oh, look, I start studying vision probably from the Tuesday beforehand. I'll probably look at a quarter or so from each team leading up then. So it just starts to get the processes going for me along the way. I'll start ramping that up probably Thursday when I know the teams are due to start coming in. Again, I'll go back and watch another couple of quarters of both teams along the way. So I've probably watched, close to half of a full game of each team. Then I'll start moving into Friday when I know the lineups. I'll start going in depth into stats. I'm a very statistical based person. I like to be able to mention that Gemma Houghton's kicked goals in 4 of her last 5 matches or something like that. Certain player hasn't had a free kick for 6 weeks. Just those little sort of quirky things that you can work into a call. And I'll have stats that I won't use all season. But Chris, as you would know, preparation dictates that if you need it, there's a stop and play. You can look down and look at that straight away and put it aside. So yeah, I'll probably start from Tuesday and start to really ramp it up there towards Friday. No point doing it Saturday. If you haven't nailed it by Saturday, you're not going to nail it. So Saturday mornings are spent with my kids more than anything else, and just enjoying a bit of downtime.